This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876 309 6128. That's 876 309 6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876 586 0471. That's 876 586 0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. How is everybody doing? Is everybody doing okay? Well, I hope you all are doing well. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. Are you guys doing okay? How was your day? It's Friday. And you guys know what that means, right? Because it's Friday? Yeah, well, it means that, quite simply, that it's the end of this week in particular. But, there are other things to bear in mind, the weekend that lies ahead. And we'll get into that discussion. So this evening, I'm going to share something deep with you, very deep. So it's going to take some time for you to process, So if you have questions, just stop me and I'll explain. Jade Green says first. Best says documentary says bless up Simon. John Paul says up Simon, just checking in. Okay, great. Okay. So in 1966, England won the World Cup, as you know. And Sir Alf Ramsey came up with a theory. And he said it is the triangle of success if you're going to be successful at any international tournament. And this is World Cup, this is Euros, this is Gold Cup. No matter what international tournament it is, this is what he said was a key formula for the success. And I'm going to share that with you guys as well. And this is important. So if you guys haven't already, I implore you to hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button. So I'm going to share the graphic with you guys. And then we're going to talk a little bit deeper about things. Okay? So on your screen right now, you should be seeing the triangle of football success. And as you know, a triangle has 3 points. As you guys know, a triangle has 3 points. Now, Sir Alf Ramsey and Gareth Southgate are big believers especially in Alt's case, was a big believer in the numbers and the coordinates of things. And his thought process was that the distance between those three areas that you see on your screen should be as minimal as possible. And it came to the conclusion that these 3 points are important for players and also the coaching staff. So, as you can see, if you see the 3 points there, you see the airport, you see the hotel, and you see the stadium. So, as you guys know, right, when a team arrives at a tournament, they go from the airport to the team hotel, right? And from the team hotel, they go to training. So stadium/training, right? And sometimes what happens is that immediately after the game at the stadium, depending on the match, they might leave immediately from the stadium to the airport and go to the next city, country for their next game. So let me explain now. Gareth Southgate, Sir Alf Ramsey, Aimé Jacquet, Carlos Alberto Pereira, Luis Felipe Scolari, Marcello Lippi, Vicente Del Bosque, Joachim Low, Didier Deschamps, all believed in what was set out by Sir Alf Ramsey in 1966. So, there's evidence to suggest that teams that have a distance of less than 20 kilometers from the airport to the hotel, 20 kilometers or less between the hotel and the stadium, and 20 kilometers or less between the stadium and the airport are the teams that would go on to win a tournament. Let's look at some of the data. Argentina won the 2022 edition of the World Cup. They had the least travel in the tournament. Let's go to the Gold Cup in 2021. The United States won the tournament and they had the least travel. Let's go to the 2018 World Cup. France, they won the tournament. Euro 2016, Portugal. So, with that in mind, what does that tell you? Let me repeat that one more time for those of you that are just tuning into this video in particular. And for those that are just tuning in, I'll repeat again, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. And if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and hit the like button. And after you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to Reggae Boys Commentary. Okay, guys? So that you guys are on the same page with things. Okay? So, international football coaches. Hey, Romario, how are you doing? International football coaches have come to the conclusion, if you are 20 kilometers or less from the airport to the hotel, 20 kilometers or less from the hotel to the stadium, and 20 kilometers or less from the hotel to the airport or stadium to the airport, then you will be success. That is the triangle. You need to ensure that you're not far from these areas because these are crucial points in tournaments. You need an airport so that you can be able to move to your next destination, next city, next place for your match. Hotel, that is your domain. That is where you'll be through the duration of your matches. And the stadium/training, that is where you do your preparation, or that is where you actually go to pick up the points that you need. Okay? So hopefully you guys are on the same page there. Now, let's touch this one more time, okay? And let's touch this importantly. Argentina's coach, Lionel Scaloni, and the Argentine technical team, they ensured that they chose hotels that were within 20 kilometers or less of their matches, the airport, and the stadium/training facility. Same thing was done by the French in 2018, the Germans in 2014, and also the Spanish in 2010. In the Gold Cup, the United States traveled the least, and guess what? They won the 2021 edition of the tournament. So I know what many people are saying. With that being said, Simon, how much traveling will Jamaica do at the Gold Cup? All right. And I'm glad to show that to you so that you guys are on the same page of things. Now, I'm going to catch you up in relation to where these places are so that you're up to speed with things. And I'm going to show you on a map. Okay? So let me just remove this one more time. Less fatigue, more focus. Good point, Teresa. Very much so. So what I'm going to do right now is show you a map to show you exactly how things are. So this is the United States of America. Jamaica's first game will be in Chicago, right here. Jamaica's second game will be in St. Louis, Missouri. Not far, just a shade over an hour in flying time. And then Jamaica's third game of the group from Missouri. The third game of the competition will be in Santa Clara, California. Santa Clara, California. Yep, California. The quarterfinals, based on Jamaica's group, will be in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's Cincinnati, Ohio. And Ohio, as you guys know, is a neighboring state to Pennsylvania, Virginia, very close to Maryland, and also close to New York as well. Cincinnati, Ohio, right here. The semifinal will be in San Diego, California. San Diego is here in roughly half an hour to 45 minutes drive to Mexico. San Diego. And the final, Inglewood, California, not too far from LA. So what does that tell you? Well, that tells you potentially 3 games on the west coast of the United States, and 3 that are close to the east coast of the United States. Good afternoon, Siobhan. Hope you're doing well. So hopefully you're aware of that. So potentially in the tournament, we're looking at 3 games on the west coast. The opening game in Chicago. The second game in St. Louis, Missouri. The third game, Santa Clara, California. Fourth game in Cincinnati, Ohio, quarterfinals. Semifinals in San Diego. And the final in Inglewood, California. But I know you guys might be saying to yourself, but okay, Simon, now we know the airport part. What about the hotels and the distance between the hotels and the venues itself? So when you bear that in mind and put that into perspective of things, hotels to the stadium, hotels to the training venue are less than half an hour drive. So all of those things are in Jamaica's favor. All of those things are positive. As I made mention earlier, from Sir Alf Ramsey to present, and Gareth Southgate even mentioned it as well when he spoke about what was key to that semi-finals run in 2018. And they said the triangle of football. And for those of you that tune in late, I'll show you the triangle of football again. I've spoken about it maybe once or twice, but visually, you should be able to see it right now. So, what does this mean? The distance from the airport to the team hotel. If it's 20 kilometers or less, and the hotel to the stadium/training venue, if that's 20 kilometers or less, and the stadium to the airport or vice versa, 20 kilometers or less, then we're looking at a situation where you're bound for success, because there is a trend for teams that cover the least distance in this triangle are the ones that eventually become champions of their respective tournaments that they participate in. So it's not to be brushed aside, and it should be encouraging and reassuring that Jamaica, even though there may be a couple of games in the West Coast and some close to the East Coast, the distance between hotels and stadiums and the distance between hotels and training venue are not far. And the distance between hotel and airport are also less than 20 kilometers. So that in itself should be a reassuring factor. That in itself should be something that everybody appreciates, applauds, feels happy about. Because we know for a fact that when you bear in mind these circumstances, things are on the up and up. Things are moving in the right direction. Things continue. We have every reason in this world to be happy. Very much so. More good news. A Jamaican community resides in the city of Chicago, Jamaica's first game of the tournament. You have the Jamaican community in the state of Chicago. Jamaicans also live in the state of California. You even have a Jamaica-California Association. The semifinals are in San Diego. After Los Angeles, San Diego is a city with the second most Jamaican people in the state of California. So it's Los Angeles, San Diego, San Francisco, and you even have Jamaicans up in Malibu. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Well, they do. Very much so. So that in itself, viewers, is also another point to be reassured. Another point to be happy, excited, thrilled for what lies ahead. Law SL says the last Gold Cup. So, as you guys know, Jamaica's 3 group stage games of the last Gold Cup were in Orlando, Florida. However, Jamaica's quarterfinal took place in Arlington, in Texas. And even though you had a situation where hotel, stadium were close. Remember, Texas is a big sports state and you have traffic, you have things of that nature. But again, this is everything that you need to be thrilled about. Well, my friend, England know about it, France know about it, the Germans know about it, the Argentines know about it, and even the Brazilian. Rihanna's Roblox. To answer your question, yes, we do have a chance. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rich Post Sports, the poet, the man from England, the man who wears a Brazil jersey even though he is not Brazilian. England and Jamaica unite for his heritage, the land of his verse, the land of his birth versus the land of his heritage. But yet, he decides to play the Joga Bonita, the Ginga, the Samba boys of Brazil. Why would you do such a thing, Mr. Rich Poe? As the clock strikes 1 o'clock in the morning in the London night, and Big Ben bounces more and more and more. Why? Why, Rich Poe, would you put on a Brazilian shirt? Why? Why would you do such a thing? Why? Why would you put on a Brazilian shirt? It's either the land of your heritage, Jamaica, or the land of your birth. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. This is the land of my birth. So no Brazil shirt for me. Okay. You know, there is, 2021 had its limitations because of COVID. And as you know, what happened in 2021, we know there was a lot of debutants given because at the time players didn't have passports at certain times and things of that nature. But 2 years on, further into COVID, things are different. Face-to-face interaction and everything like that. So things have changed. That's what I'm gonna say. Mr. Richpo Sports. It's all about Jamaica. I'm sure Richpo must be laughing because he hasn't responded to me just yet. He wears Arsenal on his chest, but then when you check out his channel, it's a Brazilian shirt around his chest. And he beats it. But why Brazil, Mr. Richpo? Why? Talking about his tiddlywinks and Guna. Watch when me de London. One of them time, yeah. I gotta say, Richpo, where you there? Just remember that. Tennessee Lewis, much respect, man. Enough appreciated. Really appreciate it, man. Bless up, Tennessee. Thank you very much for your support. Echo Reeks, personally, I think he's making tremendous strides as a professional football player. I just think that he needs more games under his belt. That's personally what I feel about the matter. No, Dr. Joyful. Repeat after me. JAMAICA. What does that spell? That spells Jamaica. And what does Jamaica mean to each and every one of us? Well, I think it would be fair to say that if you didn't love Jamaica, you probably wouldn't watch this video. Or you would perhaps have apathy about things. Jamaica for us have different meanings, perhaps. And we all came here by different ways. We know that our ancestors came from 3 continents of the globe. Many of us, our ancestors came from Europe, some of us from Asia, some from Africa, and some of us somehow have the mixture of all 3. Myself, the father's side, it's when the Prestons came to Jamaica from Lancashire in the 1840s, they came here to construct roads and had a hand in agriculture. When my mother's ancestors came here to this land in the 1840s, they played an important role in the irrigation of the crops. And today, that place is now known as Jamaica Producers. That's right. So, this land is our home. This land is our home. This land is our home. Certainly, Echo Reeks. Certainly. Absolutely. So, again, I'm going to stress a point. If there's something that I have not discussed, that means that it's not true or it's not worth discussing. Simple. Simple as that. It's as straightforward as that. Now, Please bear in mind. Dr. Joyful, that's not the sort of attitude we should have. When Jamaica faces Brazil in the final of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, I want you to be cheering for Jamaica. When Jamaica faces Brazil at the FIFA Women's World Cup this summer, you better have on that Jamaica shirt. Are you Brazilian? No. Can you speak Portuguese? Muito obrigado, meu amigo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, we will get friendlies. We will. Absolutely, we will. We will. So don't worry about that. That is a sure thing. Jamaica will have friendlies before the Gold Cup. Okay? Jamaica will have friendlies before the Gold Cup. For sure. It's important. Okay? So guys, let me see what Rich Post says. We can let the barbs slide, Simon. Football is la lingua franca of the world. I'd point to you 1982. Zico, Eden, Junior, Socrates, Falcao. You speak about 1982 and that beautiful Brazilian football that was played. The touch, the style, the flair. For many, it was poetry in motion. But I remind you, Richbo Sports, that in that tournament itself, it was the Italians, the Azuris, taking home the greatest show on earth, the World Cup. It was the West Germans with the silver medal. I'm sure you'd remember that as well. Where were the Brazilians? Knocked out at the second round stage of that tournament. At the end of the day, how do you decide the winner of a football game? If I score 1 and you score 2, we all know what that means right away. Tottenham Hotspur has been playing champagne football. That's a joke, wasn't it? But remember when it used to be called 3-point lane? It used to be called 3-point lane because anytime you go there, you get some points. But now, White Hart Champagne, the Spurnabau. You have to cheer on the Jamaicans. CONCACAF do provide support, absolutely, Ekarix. Don't worry, ISABs. Everything will fall into place in time, one step at a time. Don't worry, okay? Your time will come. 1998 was a proud moment I've ever experienced. I'm excited about reaching out to the Jamaican diaspora. Optimism abounds. Go on, Jamaica. Richbo Sports. Were you able to travel in the Channel Tunnel to France in 98? I know you live in London, my boy. So all I have to say to you is you go to Brixton, you go to Croydon, you go to Ealing, you go to Southall right now, yeah? You go to Edmonton, you go to Holloway, you go to Archway, and you put on that Jamaica kit and promise me, you'll tell them about 2026. This is no mix or ticks. This is something we're about to fix. Not the New York Knicks, but the right picks. Because some teams will be getting licks. You hear me? All right. All right, Rich Bro. Good. Rich Bro, you and Crystal have to be at the last game of the season for the clubs. You need to follow Amari Bell. Go to Luton. Go to Amari Bell. Cheer him on as they get promoted to the Premier League. Cheer on in League One. players that have a chance to get promoted to the championship. Cheer on Mariappa up at Salford so he can get promoted. All right? Cool. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, blood? Where will the team train? You're talking prior to the Gold Cup? I'm the lyricist. I'm the vocabulary physicist. So what I'm implying, the teacher have to sing line, DJ in mind, call copy notes for the sting crime or the king crime, or wiki like St. James and Kingston and sing catching crime. Or roll out with the shooters for kill time, or boxers Colin Klein, and boy won't get me out to reach a big time. Him sleep and wake up and him still chime. Man, I said, what's happening here? What do you mean? What do you mean? Wait a minute. Is football solely about winning, or is it the journey that really counts? Do we buy into our team stories? Is it Gold Cup victory or bust for the Reggae Boys? Speak. No, that was not phrased the best way, my friend. It is like this. Ever since 1996, we've heard it's coming home. It's coming home. Even in 1998, we said we still believe it's coming home. To 2018 and Qatar 2022, we heard it's coming home. But for the Reggae Boys of Jamaica, quite simply, 5 simple words for you. It a forward a yard. Simply put, be positive. You understand me? This is the summer where great things have to happen. Okay? Mr. United says, big up, Simon. Big up. How are you? All is well? Let me know. So you guys gonna make a trend, right? It's a forward a yard. Just like that. It's a forward a yard. Just like that. How's that? Let's see if Richbow Sports got more poetry in motion to let me know. But I can tell you guys something right now. We're Jamaica. We're Jamaicans. We're strong. We're powerful. And we're ready for the world. I appreciate your credibility. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. The only time that Jamaica will play Brazil this year will be in the Women's World Cup. Unless after Jamaica wins the Gold Cup, then Brazil might want to play Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Jamaican Youth Travels. Not sure if you just tuned in or if you've been watching for the last half an hour. So, from the 1966 World Cup, from Alf Ramsey days to present to Scaloni, international football managers look at this football triangle of success when it comes to winning tournaments. And it's imperative that the airport to the hotel is 20 kilometers or less. Hotel to the stadium / training venue, 20 kilometers or less. Stadium to the airport, 20 kilometers or less. And Argentina, who traveled the least between these 3 points, they won the World Cup. Same for the French in 2018, the Germans 2014, Spaniards 2010, the Italians 2006, the Brazilians 2002, obviously the French 98, the Americans in the Gold Cup in 2021. Have there been a few outliers to this? A few, just a few. Like in 1970. In 1970, the Italians and the the Mexicans travel the least, but Brazil won the World Cup, and Brazil traveled the third least out of all the teams. But we all know that 1970 Brazilian team and what it was like, don't we? And so you guys know where Colo-Colo is the name of a football club in Chile. And what Maria Victoria Cespedes Ortiz is saying is that Colo-Colo are third in the qualifiers right now for the South American Cup, and that they won a game against Pereira 2-1. So that's what's going on. So there we go. That is the situation. You know? So I hope you guys understood what I said, and ponder about this. Really? Is it that I usually don't speak of this nature? To answer your question, for me, it's nothing less than a semi-final based on the quality, based on everything that is in Jamaica's hands. We're ready. So, I was making the point earlier as well that if you look, for an example, at the stadiums, they're between, you could say, 16 and 19 kilometers from the airport. So things are in Jamaica's favor. Mr. Douglas. Mr. Douglas, Mr. Douglas, Mr. Douglas. Guys, make sure if you want to hear some poetry in football, Richpo Sports gives some poetry in motion with some YouTube shorts where he gives his thoughts. Yeah, that's right. It's funny, I've been to London so much times, but I've never met Richpo Sports before. Maybe just lives in London or works in London, but he stays somewhere else. Interesting. Or maybe he's one of those in East London with West Ham fans. Richpo Sports. All you have to do, mate, is go to Gatwick Airport, and when you're at Gatwick Airport, you take the plane from Gatwick, and basically what you do, you go from London, and you go from London to Kingston. And that flight is roughly 8 hours and 50 minutes. It's not bad, innit? Yeah, it's not bad at all. So for me, honestly, I don't have a problem with it. So basically, it's what you have to do to come to Jamaica. And I know you have a Jamaican passport, mate. I know you have a Jamaican passport, so make sure you use it. You can use it. Crystal from Talwa TV can use it as well. Mashal St. Patrick Hewitt can use it as well from the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. So the Jamaicans that lie within the UK use the Jamaican passports. Quite simply, use the Jamaican passports, because I know, especially you, Rich Postport, you got that Jamaican passport. You got that blue book. So yeah, that's the situation. Yes, yes. Guys, can you guys imagine if like Richpo Sports is like at the airport in London and looking, have you guys seen Coach Helgrimson anywhere? Have you guys seen Coach? Just teasing you, Richpo, just teasing you. But yes, guys, hopefully you found this video informational. Hopefully you found it informative, and hopefully this was something that you could process on and understand quite clearly in terms of this aspect, because this is a formula for all teams that are successful heading into any international tournaments. So this in itself is important, very much so that you guys can be fully aware of all of this. Okay? So that's what I'll say. Okay? You should always be confident, Romario. And with a name like that, Romario, you're named after Romario, who won the World Cup in 1994. Quite a story. You should look at it. You know? Remember, Romario's dad was kidnapped, and the entire Brazil went to search for him. Yeah. That is true. And Richvo Sports sings the Jamaican anthem. He even sings reggae music. He does one where he says, Coach Jaime. And there's another one where he says, don't forget, at Sheffield Wednesday against Reggae Girls today at the King Power Stadium. Why weren't you at the game? Come on, man. To go to the Midlands is just an hour and a half on the train, pal. Come on, mate. It's just an hour on the train. And it was a bank holiday. So you could have easily got on the train and go up to the Midlands and be able to watch the game. Come on, man. I can be in Scotland and be back for tomorrow morning. I went to Scotland, got a Champions League game in, stayed in Scotland until midnight, and I was back in Leeds by 5:30 in the morning. Quite simply. So if I can do it, you can do it. Do you know what I mean? I got the Champions League game for Celtic up in Glasgow. And then after that, there was no train at Glasgow Central until 4:30 in the morning. I was able to get back to Yorkshire quite easily. So, yeah. Me say one bag of gold medal upon me, you know. Champion boy, you know the damn thing go. Well, let's put in the work. Let's put in the work. Let's put in the work. And everything will fall into place in time. All right? Let's put in the work and let's succeed. All right, guys? Let me hit the like button, Jamaica. Fly high as a kite. Man. Okay, guys. Be safe. And trust me, in time, all the information that you need will come in relation to everything. Like I said, next month, further information will come. Squads and all of that information with friendlies. Just give it time, all right? Give it time and it will come. All right? It's not a matter of if or maybe, but it's a matter of when, and it will. All right? It will come. All right? Trust me, it will come. Good. Yeah, man, it will come. Trust me. It will come. Give it a little, just a little time. All right? Good. All right, guys. Be safe. Okay? We'll talk. Lots more to come. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content.
This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices. Infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. refreshing and nutritious. Call Starboys at 1267 904 3454. That's 1267 904 3454. Hey guys, thank you so much for taking your time out to watch this video in particular. But let me give you an update on a channel called Sport City. Yes, Sport City. It is a channel dedicated to everything related to Jamaican sports. Football, cricket, athletics, netball, rugby league, rugby union, tennis, lacrosse, swimming, you name it, we got it on Sport City. And what is the channel designed to do? It is designed to highlight Jamaican talents across all of those sporting disciplines. If you're a Jamaican and you're playing that sport, then we got you covered on Sport City. So it's quite simple, guys. Hit the subscribe button to Sport City right now.